This is Real Women, celebrating women in independent film. My name's Brenda Daly, and we are talking about women in independent film, filmmaking, pretty much anything that's involved in film. I'm here with Darlene Dalmaceda. How are you, Darlene?
I'm doing well, Brenda. How are you?
I'm doing great, and she is crowdfunding her movie right now. She's super excited to make sure that everybody understands that with crowdfunding, it's very difficult because you have so many projects and so many people crowdfunding. So we're here to find out what makes your project special, Darlene.
All right. Well, the current project I'm working on that we're raising funds for is called Piece of Me. It follows my character. Her name is Lisa, and she's a paranoid germaphobe because she's totally afraid of the virus. She takes too many precautions, actually. She goes way overboard with the masks, the social distancing, the cleanliness. She has OCD tendencies, and one night, her peace is disturbed by two delivery guys. One is James, a socially awkward nerd, and the other one is Jimmy, who is a ladies' man. And they both become obsessed with her because she rejects them for different reasons. And she's also being stalked by her creepy neighbor, Doug. And there are some murders that happen throughout the story, and there's pizza. So, like, there's the best of everything. There's COVID, there's a serial killer, and there's pizza, or killers.
So this is definitely a comedy.
Yeah, it's a dark comedy about the pandemic, yes.
Right. So, so what made you think of this, besides the pandemic, obviously?
I had a real-life incident where there was a guy from Pizza Hut that came to my door one night. This was before the pandemic, and he was asking all kinds of inappropriate questions. I based the nerdy James character on him, and I called the Pizza Hut to complain about it, and a female manager, she seemed to know who he was, and that was the inspiration for Jessie Lee Pauley's character, who is named Avery. She's also one of Jimmy's girlfriends in the story.
Okay.
And amazing actress. I mean, if anybody out there, if you need a real scream queen for your project, hire Jessie. I can recommend her 100%.
Awesome.
So, yeah, that's how I got the inspiration for Piece of Me. I wrote the pilot before the pandemic. I put it aside, and then the pandemic hit. And I wasn't doing anything for a while because we'll get to my past projects in a moment, because I couldn't do anything with Stripped or the auction because of lack of funding, and also because Stripped requires a bigger cast and crew. And I still wanted to do a project, and I thought, well, I'm going to tailor this project to the pandemic and make my character this crazy germaphobe.
Yeah, I feel like just having you talk is that you are the true creative, because as creatives, we're always willing to adjust, and then we just can't stop. I do believe that this Piece of Me project is actually a brilliant idea, and I think that what we were talking about was funding, because I think funding is such an issue, and I think I think it's all about putting your package correctly together. And even with crowdfunding, people think if I crowdfund a film or a series or whatever I'm crowdfunding, that people are just going to see that and they're going to throw money at you. And that is not how crowdfunding works. Usually you crowdfund a film with your friends and family, and people will actually have a relationship with you. What the crowdfunding site does is it keeps you in check, and it lets them know that this is a real deal. So when you call them and you say, and it also gives them the material, like if you were pitching to a studio, now you're pitching to a person, you're giving them the material that they need to see. So they're getting the clip, and then they're getting a whole thing on the story. So as the filmmaker, when you're trying to crowdfund something, you need to make sure, and I have done this, that's the only reason why I know, you need to make sure that you have all of your ducks in a row first, and then when people see your crowdfunding campaign, if you just throw something up, people are going to know, and they're probably going to be like, yeah, this is just somebody did something last minute. But if you throw something up that shows value and shows that you've put good intentions into it, then they're much more happier to donate their money.
Yeah, exactly. And then also, I wanted to take a neutral stance upon the pandemic because it is such a polarizing issue. There are people on one side of the issue, like Jimmy's character. He's a free spirit. He doesn't believe in masks. He thinks COVID is a hoax. And then there's Lisa, who is so militant about everything. And I didn't think there were people like that, but there were, because I remember going to a shoot at Carmine's Pizza Kitchen where we used the exterior to film. as the fictional Pizza Me in the series.
Uh-huh.
There was this man on the Deuce bus on the Strip. I was going to Henderson from work, and he would not let me sit next to him, even though it was a packed bus. I was on the upper level. He would not let me sit there. He put his hat on the seat, and I was like, "Oh, excuse me, sir, can I sit there?" And he's like, "No, we're still in the middle of the pandemic, and if you're not with me, then you can't sit here." I was like, "Wow, okay, I thought Lisa was just something I made up. I guess there really are militant people out there."
That's what I liked about the project, was because it does make you really... The things that make a project successful is people see themselves in it.
Yeah.
Especially because I feel like this is more in that insecure. It's kind of in that insecure where it's really about, when people watch Insecure, they kind of see themselves in it.
Oh.
So it's kind of in, you're not... Like with My Mom Squad, it's all, we're yucking it up.
Right.
Like, but I think with what yours is more like real people, like people will recognize themselves in it.
Mm-hmm.
So have you filmed any episodes?
Yeah, we actually have completed production on all 6 episodes, and another theme in the story is just about toxic masculinity, because you have James, who's such a desperately socially awkward nerd who can't talk to women, and then you have another guy who's a ladies' man, a player who has too many women. So they both become friends, but they have this toxic friendship where they're trying to pick up women. They both have the same idea. I mean, they're both like trying to hook up with these ladies, but they're doing it in a very toxic manner. So I thought about guys that I've dated or been in relationships over the years, either James or Jimmy types.
Right.
And that's where the other inspiration comes from for the 2 lead characters in this story.
So you've filmed 6 episodes. Mm-hmm. What are you raising the money for?
I'm raising money to pay back my actors that have worked with me over the past year.
Okay.
It took longer than anticipated to finish. Mm-hmm. There were periods of time where it was, I was working on it for a while, then things happened, and I couldn't work on it for a while. Then, I
completely
starts
understand.
And stops.
It's the independent thing. Plus, you have to work to pay for your own bills.
I have to work. I mean, I work 2 jobs, so I had my own life going on.
Of course. No, I totally understand. I understand that because I was doing Mom Squad, and then I got the Lucky 7 opportunity, and I kind of pushed that aside. But I had raised the money for Mom Squad. So, are you planning on making any other episodes?
No, just these 6, it will go toward paying the actors and then any additional funding I need for post.
Right, so basically you're raising the money for post-production because you have everything in the can.
I have everything in the can, yes.
So for people who are out there crowdfunding, I feel like this is such an opportunity because you can get yourself on a project. Mm-hmm. I don't know exactly what you're offering, but you get yourself on a project, that'll be published, that it'll be done because you don't have to worry about whether or not it's been filmed.
There's quite a few rewards on our Buy Me a Coffee page that people can earn. The more they contribute, the higher the rewards are. Mm-hmm. I mean, including a pizza lesson that I want to film with all of us, because I've never made pizza in my life. So I think it would be funny if we did a social media takeover and we went live on Instagram or Facebook.
So it gives the person who's donating an opportunity to be on camera with the cast.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll
have an exclusive cast and crew. You can ask us anything about the project and about our acting careers and things like that. So.
And is there any producer credit, executive producer credit?
Exactly.
Okay. All right.
Mm-hmm. And then an invite to our premiere once we finally do a full-on screening of Piece of Me.
Yeah. So in Las Vegas, the Galaxy Theater's been very premiere friendly, so people should probably reach out to them.
Yeah.
And then I do know that if you do well, this is what I heard. I don't know if it's true, but I know that the Town Square, they'll give you a half rate if you donate the other half amount. So whatever you charge for tickets, they take half. And then, so if you fill the theater, they get half, you get half, and then, hopefully some of it goes to charity. I guess usually that's how it's been going here. I'm not sure how they do it in LA, but I'm sure it's kind of the same deal.
I'll have to look into that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So what is it about you that made you want to be a filmmaker?
Well, I fell into it by accident because when I went to the Art Institute, I wanted to be a web design major at first.
Okay.
And then I got tired of coding because, it is very labor intensive and, it's very left brain. So I wanted to do something more creative. So I took an editing course and I found I really liked that. So I decided to switch my major to film.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay. And so you have a major in film?
I do.
Okay, we'll see. So you have education.
Yes.
But was it just the editing that you enjoyed, or was it just the fact? I mean, what is your favorite thing to do on set?
I love the acting part of it. I mean, I love being like writing my own characters and being in my own projects. Like, I want to be like an auteur, you know what I mean? Like the ones from the past, like Orson Welles or...
You know what, I tell you what,
But
historical figures,
yeah.
I just love that. I know a lot of people are doing Westerns, I love that.
Or like Stanley Kubrick or, people who...
Yeah.
Well, I used to be a fan of his, but Woody Allen.
Right.
Before, he's very
before
controversial.
we got to know his background.
Right, but there are some movies of his that I do like, though.
Yeah, actually, I was watching a movie of his when I was taking a film class, and they were doing the one shot, and it was a really famous movie. I can't remember the name of it, but they were showing us what the film looked like, and literally they did an entire walk down the street in a one shot, and of course they didn't have digital then, so it was very interesting how they did it, and it was and I think that filmmaking right now is really going to a one shot. It's not cut to like I know everybody's angles but I've noticed that a lot more people are playing those shots a lot longer.
I see.
Yeah. So that becomes quite a thing. So so you're basically in your heart of hearts you're an actor.
Yes, but I learned to do everything else too. The camera and the editing. Just going to film school, they teach you a little bit of everything, how to do everything. Right.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I really am an actor at heart, but I do love I love directing. I just love people, and I love to watch it all come together. I don't have to be on camera, but I do love I love playing characters, but I'm kind of like other people, and it's, I don't need to be the lead. Give me one page, I'd be completely happy, just because I know I'm still doing that. Right. So, since this is Real Women Celebrating Women in Independent Film, what women in film inspired you to be in film, or maybe just you're a fan of?
I really like Sofia Coppola's work.
Oh yes, yeah. Definitely.
I mean, Lost in Translation was my favorite movie at one point. Yeah. I mean, I just think that what she does is she's done a lot of interesting creative projects. She learned a lot from her dad, of course.
Of course, yes.
Yeah. So I mean, she's worked with some really talented people.
Well, I think too, she's so pretty.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I think too, she's kind of a little toughy.
Yeah,
she knows what she wants to do, and I think that's why her films come across the way they do. And I think too, she really got into it when there wasn't that many women with a woman's perspective. And I also feel like that's what your project is, a very woman's perspective, because we always because you can only write what you know. It's really not bashing men. It's just more your perspective, because we see the world way different than a man does.
Yeah, which brings me to my next project that I'm planning to do, which is Alter Ego. And that follows Jimmy's story, the ladies' man from Piece of Me, so it's like a spin-off.
Oh, okay, great.
Yeah,
great.
So I think it would be interesting to tackle that type of character, looking at it through a woman's point of view.
That would be great. So let me ask you something. So, what do you plan on doing with the series once you're done?
Well, we have our pilot up on iftnetwork.com, and that's where it's going to be exclusively streaming, and it's a really good platform for producers, because they're going to give us a percentage of whatever subscriptions that they're going to, that they sign people up for.
Right.
So, and then, hopefully, I know they've been working on their own Indiegogo campaign, and Jay Cruz, the founder of IFT, he's been out there grinding, hustling, getting IFT out there. They're based out of New York City, and they have a lot of different indie film projects on there, short films, feature films, theater. So how long are these episodes that you're making? Between 7 to 15 minutes. Yeah, that's kind of how the Mom Squad is. So I always call mine a micro series. A micro series? That's what I call it. Okay. But I know that you could probably take those 6 episodes, and if you added a couple more, you could actually make it a feature. And okay. I have heard that Tubely is the way to go.
that's where the filmmakers are making money.
That's what I was thinking about doing with Stripped, my past project.
But I'm saying, so with your contract with IFT.com, I know you said it's exclusive, but does your contract say it's exclusive, or can you span out?
I'd have to look into that some more, because as far as I know, it's only on their platform.
Well, right now, but have you reached out to other because I know I'm working on distribution right now, and of course it's like mind blowing because I've got people give you list of don't work with these people, and then other people are like, no, you should work with this person.
I have not looked into other platforms. I mean, I know that Strip was on Sideshow for a while, which is another indie platform that I was working with, but right now the site is undergoing a major overhaul. I know, like Chris Blair, the founder of Sideshow, he's working on a new way to get it out there.
Well, I just feel like his content right now is key.
Yeah.
And for us as creators to get that content out is a challenge because we really don't know what to do because we're kind of new at it. But what is the end goal? Is the thing about having it exclusive on one platform is to start it that way, but you want to be able to do it, put it on all kinds of platforms because you want to be able to monetize on all this hard work.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like I said, I'd have to talk to Jay about it.
Yeah, I think too, because you're kind of, I mean, this is just my opinion. I feel like you're just cutting yourself off a little bit because usually a lot of people will put it on multiple platforms.
Okay.
And then that way you get to high monetize. I heard Amazon is really. I mean, I don't know. I don't work with Amazon, but I know Amazon. They don't really make a lot of money on Amazon, but it does get your movie out there. And then if it does well on Amazon, then Tubi will pick it up, and then that's when you start monetizing. So they all kind of work together. Mm-hmm. So I feel like if you do the whole monetization, you might want to think about it. Of course, I would probably make them the premiere for your project, but just as filmmaker to filmmaker, I don't know if you need to cut yourself off so quickly. I'm sure the platform's great, and you're giving them the opportunity to put your stuff up there. Mm-hmm. But I think, this thing should run for years. And you probably, and what I've been taught as far as distribution is you usually don't make your money for 3 to 5 years after you've distributed it. So, food for thought.
Okay.
Yeah. But we do want that mailbox money. I mean, if we're going to go through all of this, I mean, I know it's passion, but I do really feel like a project like yours could probably get picked up by a network if they see it. So,
yeah, I mean, I think that it's a fun story. It's different.
and the thing is that, you are a unique person.
Everybody loves a good murder mystery. Everybody loves a good whodunit.
I love the fact that you took all of that and then kind of made it this quirky murder, thing. That to me, that's very creative.
Right, like it's the virus is not the only thing you have to be afraid of.
Well, and I think that's the world we live in today, right? I mean, I know, a lot of states are like defunding the police, but it also brings a little more crime. So it's kind of back and forth on what our society is like, and I think as humans we need to adjust.
Right.
So I think, our content will adjust, and I do believe that there is not as much content being created that there was. So
because of COVID.
Right, which as for us, who if we don't have like a big name stars in our series or whatever we're doing, it makes it it's still valuable. We've been told that it's not, but it's valuable right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for people who have projects out there, I think it's super important for you to understand that there are avenues out there that were not open to us. So I hate the pandemic. I don't like that people getting sick. But I do know a lot of projects that have just been launched because they're looking for content.
Yeah.
So I don't know what you're going to do with your platform, but I think you need to think about it because it sounds like it's a really good project.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, I definitely want to get my work out to more people. It's just the funding, the money is a big factor. But I know other people can do it, so can I. It's just a matter of reaching more people.
Yeah, I think too. You make phone calls. Really, you need to make phone calls.
Yeah,
that's how I raise the money. Literally, we called people.
That's the thing about crowdfunding is like I'm not the best at like asking people for money. You know what I mean?
None of us are. Believe me, it was the hardest thing I ever did. And then you have to go back 3 times.
I cringe.
We all do.
Thinking about like, hey, you know, so and so. I really
but I think because
your content. Can you
here's
please help me out?
here's what you have that I didn't have. I had 2 episodes done. But you have 6 episodes done already, and all you're doing is post-production, right?
Yeah, I just have to put them together. I mean,
right.
I have the first
think
3
about
done.
that. So you're obviously shown these people. You've already got 6.
Yeah.
So all you need to really do is put together a trailer of whatever those 6 are combined.
Oh yeah, no, we have. There's a teaser and,
right.
and a full trailer.
And then because then you have that. So all you need to say is basically what I would say if I was in your situation was, look, it's already done. You know, you're betting on a winning horse because it will get shown and it will be seen. So I think if people are out there and they're really interested in a project, I think they should really look up the Piece of Me. What platform is it on for funding?
It's buymeacoffee.com/Ace Vegas Studios.
Okay, so that's super important, and I think people, you know, I hope that your community and your friends and family come out for you. I think it's super important that you know, you make those phone calls. You got to call your people because crowdfunding, 90% are people that you actually know.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
I mean, because I've reached out to a few people on my Instagram, and they're total strangers. I don't know them. It's just like, I don't know. I just feel really nervous about asking for the final ask. You know, like, you know how they, you know,
usually,
when you're making the sale, like, you know,
yeah, it's not really a sale too. You're giving them an opportunity. Think about this. You know, you can't look at it. You're selling them anything. If you believe in the project, if you love the project, you know it's already done. You're really giving the opportunity to put their name on it.
Yeah, that's true.
And so people who are getting started out as distributors or starting out as producers, they need projects under their belt.
Yeah.
So you have to look at it as, you cannot look at it as, I'm asking you for money. You have to look at it as you're giving them an opportunity to be part of something.
Okay.
So, and I think it is nerve-wracking because no one likes to ask for money, but
right.
I think
especially
you would
people
be
that I have no idea, like I don't know them from
right, and you have to look them up and you have to know them. So if you don't know them, you need to find out about them because going back to the Hollywood Winter Circle thing is that is the biggest thing as I've learned is your business. You need to reach out to them. If they see value in it, they will call you, or you can call them and say, hey, can I set up a meeting? You know, you're not even asking for money. You just set up the meeting and you tell them how important it is and how special it is compared to what else is out there and what they will get from it.
Yeah, and we're working on an in-person fundraiser. I met this really awesome rapper. His name is Young Kifa. And he and his girlfriend are going to help me organize this event at the Millennium Fandom Bar at the end of February.
Super fun.
Super fun. So hopefully, even with social distancing, we can still have a good time and screen the first 3 episodes of Piece of Me, because I did a virtual screening in October. But I know that with his help and that all the musicians he knows, that they can help us out with their music and donating toward the project. And, you know, and his girlfriend, Alicia, she knows all the foodie people, because she's a foodie. She can get all the people who love pizza together, so...
Right, and I think it's important, too, is, you know, and then, of course, you know, you give them a credit for that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So then they get credit, see, so then they get to move up the echelon of the ladder, because they actually, because that's what a producer does. They make sure that they get you what you need to get your projects out there.
Exactly.
So is there anything else you want to tell your audience, and my audience, but your audience about you? Because we've talked about your project. Where do you see yourself in 5 years in film?
Well, I'll have all these projects, the past ones, like stripped in the auction. I'll finally have them done. I'll have this Piece of Me project done. I'll have Alter Ego done, and then I'll have future projects that I'm working on. I just have ideas. Like I don't have any scripts for them, but I have like a slate. And you know, I have projects in the works for future projects that I'll be working on over the next 5 years. So I mean, I want.
But where do you see your project going?
Well, you know,
hoping to go. This is the dream.
It's the ultimate goal is to make it to Hollywood, right?
Yeah, make it to networks.
To make it to networks. Yes. To be known. Like Like the guy who did Squid Game, I mean, he was broke. He had to sell his laptop at one point. He had to take out loans. This was in 2008. They were telling him, hey, you know, like, we're not interested in this because this is too unrealistic. This is too violent.
I think, too, when you're selling a project, you have to understand, you're going to get 100 no's for that one yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Because not everybody's going to recognize how important, but yet you still have 6 episodes. You have product, and I think people need to understand that just getting that product is like pulling teeth a little bit. So this is Darlene Dalmaceda, and it's been super fun talking to you. And I think you really embodied the creative in all of us. She's made a lot of sacrifices for her art, and she's super talented. And my name's Brenda Daly, and this is Real Women, celebrating women in independent film. And today we celebrated Darlene Dalmaceda. Check out her site. Thank you.